going on, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode on my channel. As always, I'm Jay, and today I am accompanied by my friend Zach.
And if you were wondering where all of this man's facial hair went, just check right here.
So today, guys, you knew it was coming. We're doing a spoiler discussion on the Venom film, which, as I confessed, I actually enjoyed it, and my friend Zach over here did as well.
I mean, it's coming from two guys who didn't expect to like this movie as much as they did.
Exactly. So you know what you're getting in for with this video. If you didn't like this and you still want to watch it, go for it. So, as a whole, what would you classify Venom as from your own personal experience?
Oh, from my own personal experience, and this has happened a lot.
Yeah.
It's kind of like taking a test where you didn't study, you didn't really do any work on it. You're taking the test, and midway through the test, you're like, I am bombing this thing. Then the results come back on Monday, and you got a B-.
I'm Eddie Brock. I'm a reporter. I always seem to find myself questioning something the government may not be looking at.
The story was basic but eventful. Outline the story, plot elements. I mean, we're not going to go through the whole rundown. Basic thing.
That'll be a 20-minute long video. You don't want to watch a 20-minute long video.
Yeah, we're gonna cut the best 20 minutes out of that discussion right now by avoiding specific key plot points, and we're just gonna integrate them into the different things that we're gonna focus on. Easter eggs.
Were there?
I mean,
so we probably should have written stuff down when we went to watch this time.
Probably.
I usually do that.
John Jameson.
Yeah.
Okay.
JJ's son.
Yeah. Werewolf by Night.
Yep. You know what? He likes chocolate.
Did he put that? Did they put it in?
They did at the end of the movie.
Okay.
He wanted to eat hash browns, and then he specifically said chocolate, which we know in the comics
was a brain substitute.
Yeah.
Right? Weight bench in the apartment.
That's right. There was a weight bench in the apartment, which, as you know, or should know, if not, the character of Eddie Brock in the comic books, and a lot of times you saw it in the animated series, always a lifter.
Was there anything with the rumor mill that we saw or heard about?
I mean, I'd heard something. It's a little bit of a stretch, but you know what? Hey, there's crazier things in movies for sure. Okay. But remember that movie Life with Ryan Reynolds and Jake Gyllenhaal?
Didn't see it.
I didn't either. Apparently, people are thinking that it might be a prequel to Venom.
I'm so sorry.
There wasn't many characters to choose from in this film that were really worth the focus, but the ones that we're going to mention now. First and foremost, the strength in the characters as a whole was through the main dynamic of Venom and Eddie Brock.
Absolutely.
That made the movie, that made it more enjoyable. The humor, the interplay, kind of the duality of the entity of Venom and Eddie Brock, both before and after they meld and merge into the anti-hero, if you want to call it that. That's the strength of it.
They're like little tit for tat. That whole thing made me not care that the movie didn't have any other good characters.
We cannot just hurt people.
Look into my eyes, Eddie. The way I see it. We can do whatever we want.
But they had such a great dynamic.
Yeah.
Their humor landed to me every time. I mean, there wasn't a joke, or at least something that was supposed to be a joke, that fell on me. I don't know about you, but I was dying. Yeah. It was funny.
There was some stuff in there that I snickered at, but there were a good amount of things, like when he was trying to get him to jump out the window.
Yeah.
And that most enduring term that we all know and love. But the second best character was, this is a spoiler, Woody Harrelson, Cletus Cassidy.
What?
Yeah, I mean...
Who's that?
It's kind of funny, though, saying that the one cameo appearance in the post-credit scene is actually the second best performance in the film. But, I mean...
What does that say about the rest of the performances in the film?
It's nothing good.
So let's start with Carlton Drake.
The evil Elon Musk.
Evil Elon Musk is essentially who exactly he is. Yeah. Portrayed by
Riz Ahmed.
Riz Ahmed,
yeah.
Who I believe he was in Rogue One, right?
Yeah, he was. He was Bodhi Rook.
Very good in Rogue One. He was actually very good here. It's just that his character...
Yeah.
I mean, just evil Elon Musk, I guess.
Pretty much. That's the accurate description I went for. I mean, he was very charismatic. He could convince people by saying like a couple sentences whimsically. I mean, he made you kind of like laugh at the screen a little bit, like by making characters literally do the worst thing for them by just saying a couple sweet words. And one of the things that was funny for me was the beginning of the film where the little girl was trying to do a question, and he said, like, all the group of kids, because he had like a little science fair there, were laughing at her and trying to shush her, but he said, "No, don't shush her. I'm just like you, little girl. I ask questions and we are the ones that build the future." And then literally 2 seconds later, he doesn't have her ask her question. He just leaves the room
quickly. Yeah,
because he's got better shit to do than let a little
Screw
kid.
the kids.
But speaking of damsels, which this one is not necessarily,
No.
especially She-Venom, the part where that came in through. Michelle Williams is Anne, who is Eddie's love at the first part of the movie, and then due to Eddie being a jerk and using her kind of connections to the Life Foundations, he basically tries to be investigative asshole and get in on that, and basically she loses her job and stuff. But I found her performance to be quite stiff. Almost as stiff as her wig.
But well,
so
not as bad as Woody Harrelson's wig. Hello. It's not. I don't have anything about her performance. It's hard to turn nothing into something.
Yeah.
She wasn't given anything.
Yeah.
The writers didn't do her any favors.
Nope.
But all that being said, I mean,
she wasn't terrible.
It
but
wasn't.
She was just there. She was kind of just there until the She-Venom part of the film, which I thought was entertaining as hell, especially when they made out. And I was like, should I be turned on by this? So, I don't know about this.
Before I went to see the movie, someone told me there's a scene in here that you're going to think is super weird. And I was like, I don't know, what could happen? And then she's like, oh, Venom and Eddie make out. And I'm like, okay. I mean, like, the disembodied head of Venom makes out with him, or what? She says, you'll see. And then when you see it, that's not weird at all. Like, it's just...
No. It's like, I mean, Venom has like gone into, and there's a good hentai tentacle joke in there at some point, I think.
Probably.
We're not going to go there.
Sure, PG video.
I'm sure by now we've already bleeped out like half of the things we've said. But yeah, so I mean, it wasn't weird, and it was kind of a kind of cool little thing that they threw in there. So the next big focal point of the film, without a doubt, was definitely the visuals. I mean, visually appealing character, Venom, and he's got a lot of different things that he can do. The symbiotes and the way Venom looked were the best out of everything, and they look pretty decent. Obviously, you have to have a certain suspension of disbelief, but as far as the visuals go, they did kind of mirror how the symbiotes work and operate in the comics, and in this one, I thought Venom looked pretty good.
Yeah, the character design was fantastic. Of all the characters, I mean, the CGI was really good. Not the best I've seen, but it wasn't like, Spider-Man 3 level. Like, it was still passable. I said it, didn't I? Jay,
Why did you mention that? Why did you talk about Spider-Man? I told you I didn't want Spider-Man 3
to
be in
I know.
there.
I'm sorry for that. But you know what? People are watching. They're relying on us right now.
Oh.
They're out there.
So, aside from Venom, the other visually appealing character was definitely Riot. And I thought Riot's special effects and his look were also pretty good. What did you think about Riot?
I mean, he definitely looked good, but he looked like Venom. So it was kind of tough because Venom looked good. Yeah. But you got to do more to differentiate him. You can't just be like, he's gray, he's black, they're different. Not the same. Yeah. So they definitely could have done more on that aspect of it. That's at least what I thought. Yeah. I mean, there was slight texturing that was slightly different, but again, it's like you kind of said before we get on camera here. It's like it's a color swap in a fighting game where it's like literally the same character, but one has different color schemes and everything. I mean, chose Sub-Zero, you chose Sub-Zero, so yours is an off aqua and mine is a blue.
It will always come at a cost.
So, two very visually striking characters. Definitely room for a finale, a grand finale, where they kind of melded together and did all this stuff. Visually, I thought it was very inventive. There were parts where Riot was tearing off like Venom symbiote, and it looked painful, and it looked pretty well done. And they out of a splash page in a comic. It was unbelievable. And speaking of splash, like when they exploded together and everything, it was awesome. All that stuff was like it was shown in the trailer, so it was kind of a spoiler thing and a stupid like dick move that they did in the trailers by showing all this stuff at the end. They showed a lot of stuff at the end. Sony does never learns with that stuff. But overall, I think that the special effects in that regard were very well done again. And they weren't Oscar worthy, but they weren't Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen bad.
No. None of the action in it is nearly as you can actually read what's going on in these fights as opposed to that.
You can tell who is who, even though it's still two dark characters in a nighttime setting. I mean, I don't know. That's just nitpick.
I was thinking that too. It seems like if you're gonna have this huge climactic fight, which I mean wasn't huge, but this climactic fight with a character with a black color palette, a character with a gray color palette.
Yeah.
Don't set it at night.
No.
That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
I mean, honestly, it could have been worse. It could have been the last act of The Predator.
It still could have been. Oh, gee.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
The fight in his apartment, hilariously done. You know what? I'm thinking about it. It kind of felt like a Jackie Chan style.
It was very Drunken Master.
A little bit. And then he looks at his hand and he doesn't know what he's doing. It's like, some weird like type of kung fu movie where he doesn't know his own strength and everything. Aside from that, the lobby fight with the cops, that was pretty brutal for a PG-13, and I'm surprised.
Hands! You do not want to do this, trust me.
Mask! Copy!
All right, have it your own way.
Mask!
Copy.
What the hell? Flash grenade!
So I'm a big fan of a lot of action movies. My all-time favorite action movie is Terminator 2: Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
It's the greatest movie of all time. Also came out in the same year I was born.
Yeah.
Greatest year of all time.
Yep.
Unrelated. Anyway, that fight scene reminded me so much of that scene in Terminator 2.
Yep.
When they have the cops coming after them at Cyberdyne.
Yep.
And they have the tear gas, the smoke. But Venom is not having none of any of it. He's just like the Terminator was.
Yep.
Getting the smoke thrown at him, not caring.
Yeah.
And at one point, he took a dude, used him as like a baseball bat, and fought the other dudes, swinging this dude around. It was super cool.
Yeah.
They spoiled it for me because they released like a little short, like trailer with that in it. I was very bummed out. Yeah. But that whole fight was really cool. That's my probably favorite part of the movie, personally.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. And then like he stops midway because he's about to eat somebody, and then Anne comes running in, and he's like, "No, that wasn't me. That wasn't me." I'm like, "Oh man, he was about to go there. Those are just cops doing their job, but he was about to go there."
That did remind me actually of something, and it goes back to the acting piece of it.
Yep.
The part where, so she's like afraid of him, right, and he turns back into Eddie, and then he's trying to get her attention again, and she's not really listening to him, but then he's like, I'm scared. Like, I'm scared. This is in me, and I'm scared. I want help. It was just such a well-acted scene. But what happened to the days where like you can just go to a movie and it's entertaining, and you liked the movie? And it didn't have to set up this next future evil that you have to fight with this team or things like that. Like, why does it have to have such high stakes? Why can't you just go to have fun?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, The Dark Knight ruined story complexities, and the Avengers just ruined, like, all the Avengers films just ruined visuals, and just as a wove together universe. Obviously, they're going for sequels with this film. Tom Hardy signed on for 3 of them, and the post-credit scene with Carnage, aka Cletus Cassidy, Woody Harrelson, all that stuff is being set up.
Wait, that was Carnage? I could have sworn that was the girl on the Wendy's sign.
As far as final thoughts, I mean, basically we've come to the conclusion. Audiences are just way too demanding. Now, we're saying that, but watch us be very demanding of the next like series or whatever it is that just decides that they're going to do with the Venom route and not go full force. But I mean, we are fickle bastards as fans. So other than that, audience, if you're watching this and you did see Venom a first, second time, whatever it may be, you liked it, you hate it, Comment down below, leave us all the feedback, even if it's negative. And guys, if you did enjoy this video, please click that subscribe button so that you can keep an eye on my content. And if you are subscribed, make sure you hit that little bell button. That way you never miss a video of mine on my channel, so you can see more videos of me and this guy, me and other people, or just myself blithering and blathering on different things that I like to vlog about. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us on yet another spoiler discussion. And as always, guys, I'm Jay.
And I'm Zach.
So thank you very much. And Zach, for old time's sake, please pull the shades on this video.
You got it, man. Oh, by the way, congrats on 100 videos.
Thank you, man.